Today we're going to look at the Huberman Lab podcast, episode 14, The Science of Sexual Development. Some of the key ideas being discussed in this episode are: idea number 1, hormone overview and development of fetus. Idea number 2, what hormones do. Idea number 3, primary sexual characteristics in males. Idea number 4, secondary sexual characteristics in males. Idea number 5, in utero effects of hormones on sexual preference. Idea number 6, environmental factors in sexual characteristics. And idea number 7, lifestyle factors in sexual characteristics and child development. Idea number 1, hormone overview and development of fetus. Definition of hormone: it is released in one area of the body, usually from a gland, that travel and have effects on that gland and other tissues in the body. Hormones have direct effects on the brain, body, and spinal cord. Androgen: it is a category of hormone including testosterone. Chromosomal sex: they are, in general, the XY chromosome, which is male, and XX chromosome, which is female. The Y chromosome has genes that suppress female reproductive organs and promote the formation of testes and inhibit Müllerian ducts. The placenta itself is an endocrine organ. What is gonadal sex? In general, if gonads are testes, then the fetus is male. If gonads are ovaries, then the fetus is female. Steroid sex: it is the effect of steroid hormones, that is testosterone and estrogen, on traits such as the shape of the baby, human, genitalia, jaw, etc. Idea number 2, what hormones do. The hormone has to be able to bind to the receptor to take action on target cells to be effective. Hormones have two categories of effects: fast and slow, in terms of the effect on genes. Fast-acting hormones are cortisol and adrenaline. Slow-acting hormones are testosterone, estrogen. They can signal and attach to a cell to induce quick effects, but generally have long-term effects. Testosterone and estrogen can travel into cells and interact with the DNA of cells to control gene expression. Effects of hormones are seen in primary sexual characteristics, the ones you are born with, and secondary sexual characteristics that show up during puberty. Idea number 3, primary sexual characteristics in males. Primary sexual characteristics show up at birth, such as external genitalia, which defines sex. The enzyme dihydrotestosterone masculinizes primary sex characteristics. The brain has receptors for testosterone and estrogen. Masculinization of the brain is not accomplished by testosterone. It is in fact accomplished by estrogen, not testosterone. Testosterone is converted to estrogen by an enzyme called aromatase, made by body fat and neurons in the brain. Estrogen sets up masculine circuitry in the brain. Testosterone controls the display of behaviors later in life. Idea number 4, secondary sexual characteristics in males. Testosterone is involved in the development of secondary sexual characteristics such as deepening of the voice and growth of pubic hair. Dihydrotestosterone is responsible for facial hair but also lack of hair on the head. Speed of entry and exit from puberty might be worthwhile to study correlation to aging and longevity arc. Idea number 5, in utero effects of hormones on sexual preference. A study showed that young males versus young females have more autoacoustic emissions as picked up by the device. Females who identify as lesbians had comparable autoacoustic emissions to males. In utero exposure to androgens may have an impact on sexual preference. This type of study has been replicated approximately 6 times and has shown interesting correlations. It's possible the brain organizes early and impacts same or the opposite sex choices later in life. Idea number 6. Environmental factors in sexual characteristics. Maternal use of evening primrose oil and skin contact with infant or young males accelerated breast bud development. Primrose oil promoted estrogenic activity in the body. Atrazine exposure in water causes severe testicular malformation in the organ. The average density and volume of human sperm has decreased significantly in the US and Europe. Herbicides have negative effects by impacting the ratio of hormones in the mother or testes or father, and direct effects altering the fetus. Idea number 7. Lifestyle factors in sexual characteristics and child development. THC and other things in cannabis promote significant activity in the aromatase, which converts testosterone to estrogen. Pot smokers have a higher rate of development of gynecomastia, which is male development of breasts. Smoking marijuana during pregnancy can promote more circulating estrogen in the body of developing fetus. There are no peer-reviewed quality studies that cell phones are bad for the brain, but there is evidence of defects in ovarian and testicular development. When we consider cell phone storage in males, chronic exposure to cell phone emitted waves on gonads could impact swimming speed and density and testosterone levels. When we consider cell phone storage in females, chronic exposure to cell phone emitted waves can impact estrogenic levels and regularity of cycle and prolactin levels. Creatine promotes balding in some males because of its effects on dihydrotestosterone. Final summary and key takeaways. A hormone has to be able to bind to the receptor and take action on target cells to be effective. Testosterone and estrogen can travel into cells and interact with the DNA of cells to control gene expression. Primary sexual characteristics show up at birth, while secondary sexual characteristics take place during puberty. Masculinization of the brain in males and females is accomplished by estrogen via aromatase, which converts testosterone to estrogen. Estrogen sets up masculinity circuitry in the brain. Testosterone controls the display of behaviors. In utero exposure to androgens may have an impact on mate selection and sexual orientation later in life. Preconception and in utero exposure to certain substances can impact the sexual characteristics of the fetus. The average density and volume of human sperm has significantly decreased in the US and Europe. This is the end. Thank you.